Welcome to Lesson 4 of the School Improvement Framework course. Today, we're going to look deeper at monitoring, evaluating, and revising your school renewal plan or special projects application. During this phase, the School Improvement Team identifies needed resources, outlines future professional development, and develops a plan for monitoring implementation of the plan. The following considerations are critical when planning implementation of an effective school renewal plan. Determine the level, moderate, promising, or rationale of each evidence-based strategy to ensure alignment with the assigned intervention and support tier. Define ownership. Assign persons responsible for each strategic action. Determine if identified strategies require funding, the source of the funding, and how funding will be sustained. Define and provide professional development required to implement each prioritized strategy, and determine the structures and systems needed to support, sustain, and monitor the implementation of the plan. Let's dive deeper into Lesson 4 and begin to refine your practice. Our purpose is to support student learning by building the capacity of school leaders, school improvement teams, and entire staffs around the South Carolina School Improvement Model, and how this model is in compliance with Every Student Succeeds Act. The School Improvement Team, in collaboration with your transformation coach, develops a school renewal plan or special projects application to address established priorities. Established priorities should have clear and measurable goals and should meet the evidence-based criteria aligned with your school's assigned tier level. Once you have completed this lesson, you will have analyzed the impact of your chosen evidence-based practices. You will have conducted a needs assessment to help you evaluate and target resources, professional development, or improved communication, and map your progress on the road toward successful implementation. Remember, everything we do on this journey is designed to support each and every student in South Carolina, preparing them with world-class knowledge, world-class skills, and life and career characteristics on which to build a successful future. The School Improvement Team has some work to do on this journey, the first of which is to either draft or review the school renewal plan and define what implementation of the selected strategies actually looks like. You will determine the level of each evidence-based strategy to ensure alignment with your assigned intervention and support tier. Questions to consider include who will be responsible for the goals, what structures do you need in order to successfully implement the strategies, define ownership and assign persons responsible for each strategic action. Then determine if identified strategies require funding or other resources, the source of the funding and resources, and how that will be sustained. Define and provide professional development required to implement each prioritized strategy, and then determine the structures and systems needed to support, sustain, and monitor the ongoing implementation of your plan. Let's look at the structure of well-written goals. As always, the first step is to look at the data through the lens of 3 specific topics. The indicator is all about identifying a specific data element for improvement. The sample shown identifies student attendance rates as the indicator. Once the indicator is identified, the next step is to determine a reasonable, relevant target goal. It is important to note that the target is specific and not general in nature. When do you expect to reach the goal that supports the indicator? This is known as a milestone, and again, is a very specific date. This slide shows you the final product. The indicator is shown in red, the goal in yellow, and the milestone in green. Once you have developed the goal statement, it's time to determine, based upon your tier level, the appropriate evidence-based strategy or strategies to support the process. You will find a specific section in Canvas where you can learn more about evidence-based strategies. As you become more familiar with your goal and the evidence-based strategies you have determined are appropriate, it is time to ask the question, how will we monitor the process? Here is an example. Notice that it is specific. However, an important piece is missing. Who will take care of implementing this particular strategy? Now you see how the school professionals will monitor the goal through the use of a conference documentation form. They have agreed to use individual student and school-wide attendance charts. The who will monitor this is included in this example, the assistant principal. The when is also identified, a weekly review that leads to an administrative review every 3 weeks. Let's review those steps. You can see the example goal regarding attendance, as well as the strategies to be used and the specific team members who will monitor the process. Once you have determined the goals and strategies, you will need to consider the resources needed to successfully implement your strategies. Remember that these strategies may take more than 1 year, so an important consideration is how you will be able to sustain successful strategies over time. Professional development is often an important strategy to build capacity within the school improvement team and your entire school. Notice the detail of the description in the plan. Once implemented, how will you monitor the plan to determine if tweaks need to be made? Documentation is extremely important throughout the process. You want to be able to specifically identify your successes, as well as identify those strategies that just aren't the right fit. Ongoing documentation helps make this much easier for the team and shows your commitment to the ongoing process. This form is an individual alignment worksheet that you may download and complete for your school. By using this template, you will be able to accurately align your plan with both strategies and monitoring. Use this throughout the process as a guiding document. Once your plan is complete, the team will work with the school transformation coach to maintain the progress monitoring tool. This tool will help you identify your location on the path to successful implementation and improved student achievement. You will actually be able to see how much growth you have attained based upon the data you have collected. This is where those benchmarks are really important to your plan. Your transformation coach will be able to assist you in clarifying the important data needed to complete the progress monitoring tool. Lesson 4 has focused on drafting high-quality goals, action steps, strategies, and monitoring tools, all focused on your journey of school improvement. As a team, reflect on these questions. This reflection will help you prepare for the next slide, the assignment. The assignment for this lesson will look familiar in format, but addresses this new area of learning and implementation. Follow these steps, making sure you have completed each section. Don't forget the comments on the discussion page. Work individually and then as a team. Your principal will then upload your final information into the platform and comment on the discussion page. Thank you for your time and effort on the improvement journey as we work together to help every student reflect the profile of the South Carolina graduate.